I do have a note here, Ms. Peters, that you appeared at the front of the court office on Friday afternoon and with a proposed judgment, which could not be approved because you had not yet attended the SMILE program. And then I have a note here indicating that you told the caseworker that she was wasting your effing time.
Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got several videos for you tonight. The first one is a snarky woman in Judge Mertz's courtroom. Then the one that OSG did earlier, of course, it's right up my alley. This is kind of my domain here, so I had to do it. Anyway, this is in Judge McNally's court. And then a freeloader in Judge DeSanto's court. And then a case in Judge Middleton's court, but it's not the Judge Middleton you think. This is a different judge in Washington, and that is thanks to Elkhart Court, who posted that. And then the last one is just a quick one with Judge Norbeck. So I'll let you guys watch.
Okay, we'll go on the record in Peters versus Peters. This is file number 2419704. Ma'am, you're Hannah Peters, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and this hearing was set for 9:45. It's now 9:48. I do not see Mr. Peters present, but we do have Ms. Peters present. This was set for a final hearing today. The court spoke with the parties back in May. They were supposed to attend the SMILE presentation and submit a judgment to the court. I do have a note here, Ms. Peters, that you appeared at the front of the court office on Friday afternoon and with a proposed judgment, which could not be approved because you had not yet attended the SMILE program. And then I have a note here indicating that you told the caseworker that she was wasting your effing time.
Oh, no, sir. I did not say effing time. I actually said this is a waste of my time. I was not told previously that I would have to have that SMILE program done before they could sign off on the judgment papers. And so I was not aware that that would not be signed off at that time. I feel like I've been getting a little bit of a runaround when it comes to the front of the court. I do have a SMILE program set for tonight through Kalkaska. That is the only thing holding it up, and I'm not really sure why, because I've talked to many people and nobody else has had to do the SMILE program, and I've had to do the SMILE program before. I've already been through it, and so I guess it's just, and it's only once a month, which is really hard for me to get to, and I have 2 kids and a full-time job. My kids were sick the last time I had the SMILE program, and I was not able to make that one, and so this was the next one. And unfortunately, it was for tonight.
Okay, so just want to clear a couple of things up. First of all, you were told multiple times that you had to attend the SMILE presentation, including by me at the last hearing in May on the record. So that's incorrect. Everybody who goes through a divorce with minor children has to attend the SMILE program. So whoever's telling you that is incorrect, and you're aware of that if you've been through it before. This is now the 5th hearing that I've had with you and Mr. Peters since January, where both of you have been repeatedly instructed about what you need to do. So claiming that you didn't know what you needed to do and that you haven't had 5 months now to attend one of these is just incorrect. And we're not going to tolerate you being rude to staff because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing when you know what you're supposed to be doing. And I get that you're frustrated, but the fact that you haven't done what you need to do and what everybody going through a divorce needs to do is not a reason to take that out on the people who are just telling you what they need you to do so that we can take care of the business that you want to take care of. You're the one that filed for the divorce in the court. We didn't ask you to come in and get a divorce. You're asking the court to take care of this business for you, and we're telling you what we need you to do in order to do that. And if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to keep scheduling hearings and wasting my time. So I'm going to give you one more opportunity. If you haven't taken care of what needs to be taken care of by July, then I'm just going to dismiss the case and you can refile it and start all over again. Okay? So the ball's in your court at this point. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all for this hearing today, and you're free to disconnect at this time.
Do I have, what did I do with Bobby Bell and Tamisha Bell?
I'm here.
Here.
What'd you guys do now? You told me you listened to and understood the rights, right?
I do.
And how much do you think is owed, Mr. Bell?
Now I got a new statement from Citizens last week. They said the mortgage is $35,028.90. Plus I got a shut off from DTE for $2,556.51, which that total is $37,585.41.
How much were you renting this house to her for, sir?
Excuse me? I didn't hear your question.
How much were you renting the house for? $3,200?
I was nothing. She's just supposed to be assuming the mortgage, taking care of the mortgage, and making sure she paid the mortgage every month while she was there. I was making no money, no profit off of it, or nothing like that.
Were you two
We used to be in a relationship. We used to live.
Slow down. Were you two in a relationship?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And who's in the house is in your name, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
And somehow
And I am on a deed.
She is not.
you were what?
She is not on the deed. She says she's on the deed, but she is not.
I am on the deed.
And either way, that doesn't still make any payments, being paid. She
You
hasn't.
haven't paid the mortgage, ma'am, for 10 months?
Oh.
So let me explain. If I can explain, please. So the house was in bankruptcy, and then the house went from bankruptcy. It was in bankruptcy for almost 2 years, and then it went from bankruptcy to a modification. From a modification to a forbearance. Once again, when it was about to come out of forbearance, then we found the buyer for the house. After we got the payoff to sell the house to the buyer, we found out we were upside down in the house. So now Bobby wants me to go back and pay what he would have gotten if we weren't upside down in the house. We never had an agreement to pay, never had a lease or anything. Yes, I've been in the house. Neither one of us couldn't afford the house. So when the house was in bankruptcy court, and then went into the modification, while the modification was going on, we honestly thought that it was going to go into foreclosure.
Hang on a second. Slow down.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Yeah.
Why did you leave? Wait a minute. Why did you leave the house, sir?
Because we just didn't work as a couple, We wasn't.
I know, but you own the house and you left the house. And you're telling me she agreed to pay the mortgage while she was living in the house?
She did agree to pay the mortgage, and she has agreed to leave the house for it's been almost 2 years. She's supposed
Did you agree to pay the mortgage, ma'am?
I did not agree to pay the mortgage,
But did you agree to pay?
What did I agree to pay? Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing? What a great country. You mean you thought he was just gonna leave the house, let you stay there for free?
Absolutely not. The house was going into foreclosure.
Ma'am, I want you to listen to my question. Stop.
All right.
Stop. Are you telling me, how long ago did you leave the house, Mr. Bell?
It's been over a year, probably a year.
All right, slow down. That's all I wanted to know. You're telling me you left the house, no agreement, and just you can live here until?
No, it was a verbal agreement that she would take care of the mortgage until she was able to leave that house and find her something else. We've had sales for the house a couple of times, and she won't leave the house.
Hang on a second,
I
guys.
got-
Wait 1 second.
Then
Wait.
I am the one who got
It's
the
March.
sales for the
March.
house.
The
He's
judge said to
lying.
wait.
Can I please speak?
Wait.
Okay.
The judge said to wait. That means you don't say anything. Well, I can't say that this isn't something that I've seen happen before. I mean, this is what happens. People think they can commingle, live in different houses together. One owns, one doesn't own. One rents, the other doesn't rent. And now you guys got yourselves in a big pickle.
Mhm.
I mean, this doesn't seem right. You just can't imagine living in a house that has a $3,500 mortgage payment for free. I mean, this would be a great country. Maybe they'll let me live in their houses in Hollywood for free. I don't know what to tell you two. Don't interrupt me. I think you both better get some lawyers in here that know what they're doing. I'm adjourning this 2 weeks. You guys get some lawyers. That's what you need to do. This is an expensive asset you're talking about. You don't want to lose everything, Mr. Bell. I don't know what the status is. I don't want to know right now. But you gotta, how much is that house worth?
It's work. They did appraise and they saying like right at 500 now. But she got it so upside down. I had to pay. I would have to pay to sell the house.
I have it upside down.
Hang on a second. Hang on a
Your Honor,
second.
can I please say something?
Ma'am. I'm not going to be here to referee this right now. I'm not going to let you guys squabble across the cameras here, telling one why the other one got it upside down, or he did, or you did, or anybody else did. I'm adjourning this to June the 16th at what time, Jen? And you're going to
10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. and you're going to come back with some lawyers. And then we're going to set it for trial. Okay? I mean, you guys are both hurting each other at this point, as far as I can tell. But I don't know all the details, but I'm sure I'm certainly not going to resolve them now. But when
Yeah,
you
tell him why you couldn't go to I had to get a restraining order on him. He was abusing me. It's a lot of stuff. A lot.
All right, hang on.
You check the records. I've called the police here so many times before.
Ma'am, that's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, because you wouldn't let me talk.
Ma'am.
Okay.
You need to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
Was he charged with anything ever?
No, because they could never catch him here. He wasn't.
Right. Slow down.
No.
You said that you had restraining orders on him.
Yeah.
Did you get PPOs, or were these?
I got a
Hang on. I didn't think I was done talking yet. Did you think I was talking yet?
No.
Would you please stop interrupting me?
Okay.
Did you have charges that you filed against him where he was the defendant in a domestic violence charge?
No, I just
hang on. You said you had a restraining order. Did you go down to Detroit and get a PPO against him?
Yes.
All right. Is that PPO still in effect?
No.
Does that PPO have anything at all to do with the fact that you guys got yourselves in a deep issue here with regard to the loss of this property, whether it's Mr. Bell's owned otherwise, or you own some or don't own some? Do you guys realize does that have anything at all to do with this?
No, can I say this, Your Honor?
Why are you
Can,
bringing up issues that have nothing to do with the fact that this house is apparently underwater and he thinks that you owe him $35,000?
the reason why I'm bringing it is to establish that he's doing this to be vindictive. That's why.
Might be, and I'm going to hear all that at trial, ma'am. I'm not foreclosing you from arguing anything. I think that this
Yes,
is.
he's doing it to be vindictive.
Why are you interrupting me again? Please. He might be. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he isn't.
He is.
All right. Okay. Stop. I'm adjourning this to June 16th.
Look at him. Happy that he made me cry. I'm telling you.
I'm not happy that you keep interrupting
He
me.
is.
I'm not happy that you keep interrupting me.
Your Honor, I'll just leave. I'll just leave.
Wait,
I don't have to
slow
be
down.
here or anything. I'll just leave. I don't want to drag this out and have this man in my life anymore.
All right,
just
slow down.
leave.
All I'm telling you is I'm encouraging both of you to get lawyers, and maybe you can actually work together so people don't.
We're not going to be able to. He's crazy. And he's sitting here pretending like he's not. And I know it may seem like that I am because I'm interrupting you, but I have been through a lot when it comes to this man in this house. I dumped my money into this house just like he did.
All right. Then maybe you guys should figure something out. I'm telling you what I'm suggesting. I'm telling you both you should be here in person June the 16th. I'm telling you, you should come with some lawyers, and then we'll figure out, they can figure things out. June 16th at 10. If you don't want to, I don't know what to tell you, ma'am. I'm going to hear you out. You guys come here with lawyers. We're going to set a trial date, or they can resolve it. But I think you need some representation, both of you right now. If you're in danger of losing a house worth $500,000, I don't want to know how much debt you have in it, what your mortgage is or anything else. Just come here June 16th at 10. If it's not resolved that day, I'm setting it for trial. But you're going to have to prove, sir, that she agreed to pay that. If that's what it is. You got some obstacles here, both of you. I'm just telling you both, I think you'd be much better off with a lawyer on June 16th. And then I can set it for trial. You raised your hand, ma'am. Do you have anything else?
I do. I want to ask if I can just leave and not have to come back to court. I don't.
Ladies of scam orders, Your Honor.
What's that?
I put all those names on the thing because she uses several names. I've been to the police or made a report, and they know who she is and how she does, because just like she doing this crime scene now, she'll do some stuff. She spit on me, did all kind of stuff, and then call the police and act like I'm doing stuff to her.
Governor, he is lying. He is lying.
Hey,
These eviction
sir,
and filed a report
sir,
so they
He's
would know.
lying.
sir, ma'am,
He's lying.
ma'am.
Yeah.
He's claiming that you owe him money, and he's asking me to evict you. So in answer to your question, if you choose to vacate this case, as far as I'm concerned, he didn't pay for a money judgment. This will be a moot point. He's not suing for a money judgment right now. So you can go consult with a lawyer. I'm not going to give you advice. I strongly think you should consult with a lawyer. I'll see everybody here June 16th. Hang on. At 10 o'clock, and that will be in person. Okay, please? In person. All right? We'll see you guys then, June the 16th at 10 o'clock in person. Thank you very much.
Let's go on the record in the matter of Dr. Michael O'Neill versus Olivia Looney, 2500794. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Agnes on behalf of the plaintiff. The plaintiff is also on Zoom with us this morning. Dr. Michael O'Neill.
Okay, thank you. And
Miss Looney is also here as well. She can say hello.
yes, all right, I'm just trying to get to the note section here. Hold on just one moment. Okay, and so council, the three of you were in a breakout room, and has there been a resolution?
We were unable to reach a resolution. Miss Looney does not have any money to pay. And, I'd let her speak for whatever she wants to say at this point, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and so Miss O'Neill, I'm sorry, Miss Looney, oh my goodness, I need to, I'm sorry, council, how much does Miss Looney owe?
She owes $3,600 in rent, and there's other including utilities and some late fees of $4,903.93, plus $84 in costs, with the total being $8,587.93.
Okay, what are the other costs that you're referencing?
No
What are
problem. It's late fees and utilities. The landlord pays all the utilities and was supposed to be reimbursed by the tenant.
Okay, and how much are late fees?
I have them combined. Dr. O'Neill, do you have that number?
The balance with no late fees is $88,260. Late fees as of today, $2,250. That brings the balance to $10,510. But with just utilities and just rent,
$2,250?
well, it's just the agreement was $25 a day, and that's how long it's been. So even if we waive those and we're just talking about utilities and rent, we're at $8,260.
So how much are the utilities, Dr. O'Neill?
No, hold on. No, excuse me. I'm on the late fees. I'm not on the utilities right now.
Okay.
Did you say $25 per day?
That was the agreement if you were late. But like I said, I'm not really worried about that. The utilities and the rent are $8,260.
So if somebody was 1 month behind, that's $750 in late fees.
That's what the lease would say, Your Honor.
I understand that the court does not find that that's equitable at all, and the court is not going to order that amount of late fees.
We offered to waive everything, Your Honor. We just wanted
tell me how much the monthly rent is, please.
$1,200.
Yeah.
$1,200 per month. When's the last time Miss Looney paid rent?
February of 2025.
Okay, so March, April, May is $3,600. Okay? And so what are the utilities?
In February, it was $1,606.29. In March, it was $1,248.72. In April, it was $923.92. And May, it was $881.40. Bringing the total of $4,660.33.
Is this a business?
What's that? This is a house next door to a business, and this is not something I'm not a typical residential landlord. We are trying to help Miss Looney out.
Like what, $1,606 for utilities?
It looks like in February, yes, and it continues to go down.
Dr. O'Neill, explain what utilities that's included in the $1,600.
That is gas, electrical, water, internet. I guess all of the Wyandotte municipal. But yes, that's correct. And it looks like that's the highest one ever that we've ever had. And we're averaging closer to the 1,000 range. Like it went down to 1,200 the very next month, 900 the next month, 800 the next month. So it looks like that was the most gas, perhaps. I'm not certain, But yeah, that's the highest one we've ever had.
That's why I was wondering if it was a business, because I've never seen a $1,600 utility bill, even with all those.
Like I said, that was internet, electrical, gas, and water combined.
I understand that. I understand that. Did you provide copies of the invoices to Miss Lee?
Yes, always.
And so did you, counsel, did you attach any of those to your complaint, please?
I did not, but if you would like us to do that, I guess
Miss Looney's had every bill, and we've even offered previous bills from future years that she could look at to compare. I agree, it does seem high, but I also it is what it is. I mean, I can't control the utility bill.
I understand that, but was there any investigation to determine if there was a leak or somehow bills got combined with something? I mean, I've never seen that on a house. That's why I was asking. I'm not suggesting that that's not the bill you received. But again, that's what I thought maybe been a business. So Ms. Looney, why did you stop making your payments?
I had fallen behind because of Christmas, and I was a single mom at the time. I have 3 kids, and Mike had told me as long as I caught up on everything that I would be good to stay here, and he said he was selling the place and blah, blah, blah. So I borrowed the money from my dad to get caught up. And as soon as I got my taxes, I had to give him everything that I had for my taxes. And then he proceeded to tell me that as soon as the lease was up, I had to move. So I'm 7 months pregnant, I have 3 kids, and then I'm a waitress, I have no credit. I started freaking out because how am I gonna get into somewhere else? Because everywhere I've applied to, you have to have at least a credit score of 610 or to 650. So I'm like, I can't pay the bills here because my utility bill alone is insane, and have the money to move out.
Okay, well, ma'am, okay, you got behind because of Christmas. Well, I can understand that you have kids and there's Christmas, but, you know, perhaps.
And my utility bill was crazy, and I've frozen this house all
I'm
winter.
speaking. Ms. Looney, I'm speaking. Please do not interrupt me while I'm speaking. But perhaps Christmas needed to look a little bit different if you didn't have the funds to make your rent payment. Is your $1,606, is that February utility bill, does that include any past due amount?
No, it does not. And I have told Mike multiple times during the winter time that the house was freezing. So I'm paying $1,200 and me and my kids are freezing in this house, and nothing was investigated, nothing. I sent him the thermostat. I'd have my thermostat on 70 something, and then it would be 50 something degrees in my house.
So did you have anybody come out to look at the issue?
Did I have anybody come out?
Yes.
No, because the utility bills were not allowed to be in my name.
So did you ask your landlord to have somebody come out?
He told me to get stuff to put on the doors to block the stuff from
That was my
coming.
question.
No, he did not have anybody come out.
Did you ask your landlord to have somebody come out?
I did not specifically say, can you have somebody come out? I had told him that the house was cold multiple times.
Okay, well, perhaps you should.
I've
Check
fixed anything.
it out, see what was going on. Yes, Mr. O'Neill?
I just was saying, I'm happy to bring anything up to speed that was insufficient. I always have, and happy to. She was welcome to call anyone she wanted at any time. She called me for a plumber thing once, and I said, I don't even have time to fix that. It sounds like it's just the guts. If you could have somebody replace that, I'd be happy to cover the cost of the labor and the materials. There just wasn't great communication on that, and I think probably not great maintenance on your current thermostat, furnace, or windows, or whatever it is that's causing this high fee. But like I said, I don't have any control over the utility bills, and would have been happy to help. I helped her for years. There was consistently late payments since early on in this relationship, and I've always waived late fees. I've never to this day charged a late fee. I've always let things go until they just build up. And she had her dad kind of pay off about $5,000 worth of late fees, or not late fees, but just rent and utilities. And then I said we couldn't let this happen again. It immediately started happening again. I said we're gonna have to end this relationship. And
when you say relationship, Mr. O'Neill, when you say relationship, do you mean landlord?
I mean this rental relationship is a renter. I can't have this renter. He can't have you here anymore. I'm sorry, but we have to receive payment. We can't, and we've been continuing to pay all these utilities. So all these payments you're seeing at $46.60, we've covered those. I've just paid those personally just to keep them on.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, Ms. Looney.
I did not fall behind again until he told me I had to move out. So that is false. After my dad helped me pay that, and I had paid him back with my taxes, I paid every month after that and did not fall behind until he told me that I couldn't live here anymore. And then I didn't understand how I was supposed to make those payments and pay for somewhere else to move into.
Ma'am, I can assure you of this. Even if you have somewhere else you need to move, you don't get to live there for free.
I understand that, but had he let me have the utility bills in my name, I could have gotten help from the state as well for my utility bills being more than my rent. I can't get help when they're in his name.
She never asked, not even a single time.
Like
to have
before
her
I
utilities
moved in, I did, and you told me that I couldn't, and I don't even want to say on the record why you told me I couldn't.
You're more than welcome to say anything you want.
Okay, because you didn't want the city to know that you were renting the house out to me. That was like an undercover thing.
It was not an undercover thing. There's not one thing
Like
that's completely.
I have text messages of you telling me.
Pause. I'm not having this back and forth on my record. Not having this back and forth on the record here. So I'm going to say this, that the amount due and owing without late fees is $82.60. The court will order $75 per month for late fees. The court's not doing $25 per day. And so that's March, April, and May. That's 3 months worth. So that's $225. So that's $8,485. And how much are the court costs, counsel?
$84.
So the court's going to order $8,569 is what's due and owing. The court does not have any, there's not a legal basis to why this court should not enter this judgment. Ma'am, you do understand all of your rights that you've received in your packet of information, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, did you read those? Well, you know, you have.
Yes, I read it before I got on here.
Okay, and so you understand you have the right to request rental assistance, you have the right to have an attorney, and that you have not availed yourself of either one of those, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you're not looking for any of that, is that also correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, well, the court's going to then indicate after hearing judgment to enter the amount of $8,485. Writ date
June 10th.
June 10th.
Judge,
Wait, so I have to pay $8,000 by June 10th? Is that what you're telling me?
if you want to stay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
What do you
Judge,
want to say, counsel?
I know the rent, can you give me the numbers again for the utilities that you're approving so I can get to the right number when I put it in the judgment?
So $1,200 per month for rent.
Yeah, That I got.
Which is $3,600. Council, I'm making a record, so I'm going through the whole thing.
Sorry.
$1,200 per month for rent, 3 months has not been paid, March, April, and May, so that totals $3,600. $1,606.29 for February utilities, $1,248.72 for March utilities, $923.92 for April utilities, $881.40 for May utilities, for a total of $4,660.33. Plus late fees of $75 per month for March, April, and May, totaling $225, and then the $84 in court costs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And was there personal, did you request a money judgment, counsel?
I did not.
Okay, so no money judgment. All right, the court will note after hearing that plaintiff is entitled to recover possession of the property. Amount now due and owing for unpaid rent and other costs is $8,485. No, I'm sorry, $8,569. That previous amount was without court costs. If that amount is not paid or defense settled on before June 10th, plaintiff applies for an order evicting the defendant. Additional money may be owed if damage to property occurs or rent continues to accrue. Partial payment will not prevent the court from issuing an order evicting the defendant, and no money judgment will enter at this time. The court will send it upon receipt. Good luck to you.
I
Thank
can't, hold on, I'm not, so what's the date I have to be out? I can't hear you.
June 10th.
Okay, and then the court costs and stuff, how do I go about doing that? On a payment plan or something?
No, they're not paid to the court. They're paid to the landlord. The amount that's due is paid to the landlord.
Because that was already paid.
Okay, so I worked something out with him?
Yes, if you want.
Okay, and then if I don't?
He'll have to file a separate action to collect the money from you.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah.
All right, good luck to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
File. All right, let's call the Thompson matters. We've got Adam and Tanya Thompson, 21-3-384-13, and 25-2-435-13. So, Mr. Thompson, can you state your name for the record?
Adam Thompson.
All right, and Miss Thompson, can you state your name for the record?
Tanya Thompson.
All right, so we're here on two things. We've got a contempt issue in the 21-3 case, and then there's a restraining order case, 25-2. It was set over to this docket by, I think, Judge Clarkson. So I guess I need to find out. I didn't get any sort of additional response or any sort of materials from you, Mr. Thompson, in the 2 case. What's the status of that? Are you wanting to put in materials? Is that case going to be contested or not?
Your Honor, at this point, I just want to do whatever app that Tanya wants to agree to as far as our communication back and forth about our children. I'm willing to drop this. She's willing to drop the restraining order. I'm sitting here in jail right now on a technicality of not including my son's name in a text message that did definitely have to do with him and his well-being. I'm willing to just drop it all, okay? I need to get back to work. I need to see my children. I've been in jail for a week on a single word that I did not include in a text message. I apologize to the court. I don't want this stress anymore. I just had somebody in the tank tell me that I look 15 years older than I actually am, which is exactly the opposite of what everybody always tells me is I look, 10 years younger than I always am, and I'm just done with the turmoil, the strife. Give me my time with my children. Leave me alone. I'll give you your time with the children. I'll leave you alone. Just make sure that my children are safe. Please.
Okay. Ms. Thompson?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are we doing today?
I just wanted, for the record, I was following the parenting plan. I don't feel that this contempt is right. Per the protection order, so he can speak to his children, because as of right now with it, it is not allowing us to do home wave, so he can, because of the protection order. So that's fine. If I just wanted to address with the court with the no more harassing, and when he does get out, if it can be under Family Wizard app, if
That's
possible. I just don't know how I'm going to pay for it because it's $100 and something.
I'll pay for it.
Okay. So is there so Ms. Thompson, are you wanting to dismiss the protection order, the 25-435 case? And Mr. Thompson, are you wanting to withdraw the contempt issue? And the parties want to, Mr. Thompson, you're willing to pay for the Our Family Wizarding app, and Ms. Thompson, you want Our Family Wizarding app, and that's how you communicate is through Our Family Wizarding app, limited to just the kids. I know Our Family Wizarding app, you can't delete texts and stuff. It's saved there, one side can't delete stuff. But is that what everyone's wanting? So, Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
To get back
Your Honor.
See my children again.
Okay, so let me just make sure here. So, Ms. Thompson, you're wanting to drop the 25-435-13, the restraining order case. That would just be dismissed. Mr. Thompson, you're wanting to dismiss the contempt action.
Yes.
And you're wanting me to enter an order that says the parties will communicate in the 3 case, enter an order that says the parties will communicate via Our Family Wizarding app only, limit it to, issues about the children. And when Mr. Thompson will pay for the Our Family Wizarding app on an annual basis, you'll pay, I think there's a discount when you do it annually. It's like $10 a month or it might be $60 or $70 for the year if you do a year, but you'll pay for that for both of you.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Thompson, is that
Can
accurate?
I have my children for a weekend that I missed out on this weekend?
Hold on. Ms. Thompson, you're in agreement with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Thompson, you're in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I can do is this, and I want to make certain what this does is there won't be any contempt, and Mr. Thompson, I can dismiss the the protection order case. The criminal case has its own thing. You guys have to deal with that. But
I'm sorry, you're on a criminal case. Explain to me, please.
I'm assuming you're being held on a criminal charge of violation of a protection order, right?
Yes.
And so while I can dismiss the protection order case, that doesn't dismiss the criminal charge. That'll be between you guys and the prosecutor. I mean, it dismisses the protection order so that it's no longer effective in the future.
Can we discuss this right now, Your Honor, then? Please?
No, because I'm not a party. That's a different case. That's a one case, and that's the prosecutor.
I'm talking about, can Tanya and I discuss this right now in front of you? Can you please go ask the prosecutor to dismiss this on you, please?
So, sir, you can't, Ms. Thompson
Okay,
has to talk to the prosecutor. If she wants to, she can, but it's not appropriate. It's a state case. So I just wanted to be clear about that. So, all right, what the court can do, I can sign a dismissal of the protection order.
Is there any way that you can request a reduction in bail at least?
Well, what you have to see, sir, that's in the criminal case. That one case is different. You have a public defender for that. You can talk to your public defender.
No, there's nothing on that. They had Judge Hill come in to do public defense for us on the arraignment. They didn't have a public defender to come in and represent us.
No, but you're going to have a public defender. You would have got appointed one, and so you can talk to your public defender about that. It's the same thing, because I know you had one of these before. You know, it's the same type of process.
One of what?
Didn't you have a protection order violation from earlier? No. Okay.
No, that's all still on the table, and that's I'm going to be going to community court to get all of this resolved.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying that any criminal, the only things before me is this protection order, and that I can, so that there can't be further violations if it's dismissed. So,
and can you send something, Your Honor, to the court or to the jailhouse so he can have home wave with his children? Because that, as right now, the protection order is the only thing keeping that.
Yeah, the protection order will be dismissed. So then that will clear that.
Okay.
So I'm dismissing it right now. Protected person appeared in person. Nope. Video. Wrong one. The restrained person appeared by video. All right.
And then I just come before you if he violates and harasses me further. Do I come before you, or do I put on another protection order? Because I don't want to upset you, but that was the only way I knew how to do it. So I don't know if I come before you or if I do that.
I'm not going to talk to you at all.
If he violates.
So if there's, I can't give you legal advice, ma'am. If there's a violation of a family law order, then, yes, you can come before the court on contempt. If it rises to some level of a anti-harassment protection order, that's a different case. It's a different matter. So, let's see. Final order findings, requested dismissal of the petition. I'm filling this out right now. Order, final order dismissed, possessed to terminate and appeared. All right, service on the restrained person not required. No further court hearings are scheduled. I am signing the order. This dismisses the protection order as of now. The protection order is no longer effective. So that will, if that's what was causing a problem with the home wave, with the visits at the jail with the child, then that will lift that. 3:25 p.m., 5/30/2025. I'll get that right to the clerk. And then on the 3 case, I need a blank order here. I will fill out the blank order. It will say, all right. It is ordered that the contempt filed by father on, oh, it was filed on May 8th, 2025, is hereby dismissed with prejudice, can't be refiled for that particular issue. Additionally, that's 1. 2, the parties will communicate exclusively with the Our Family Wizarding.
And Your Honor, I'm still being held, and the only way that I'm able to talk to my children is through the phone on the wall here, and I just.
So
it won't be able to be through Family Wizard while he's incarcerated. That will have to be while he's out.
No, I understand. I mean, this just means that Mr. Thompson and Miss Thompson will communicate exclusively with Our Family Wizarding app. You can communicate with the kids separately and differently. And yes, sir, I did sign the dismissal, the protection order. If that was what was causing problems with talking to your kids while you're in jail, that will remedy this. If once you're out, then you can have the visitation. I mean, all that stuff. I will put Mr. Thompson will pay for both parents' Our Family Wizarding app accounts. Now, obviously, that will have to wait until you're out, and then you can pay for that. I'm signing this order, so the contempt is dismissed.
What about my makeup time, Your Honor?
Pardon me?
My makeup time for this weekend and possibly, next weekend. I don't know.
So,
can I please have time, Tanya? They arrested me right in front of Adam, Tanya.
So, Ms. Thompson, are you fine with him having, when he gets out, a little extra time, or what?
How about we just take off the makeup time that's already imposed on me?
That's fine.
Okay. You're fine with that, Ms. Thompson? You want me to,
Yes.
I can put 3 down as the makeup time in the previous order is hereby withdrawn and satisfied?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me see. That order was entered on May 16th. All right. Number 3, the makeup time for Miss Thompson in the contempt order dated May 16th, 2025 is hereby satisfied and completed. All right. Okay. Anything else?
No, and he can contact me when he gets out to see the children
Okay.
for a few hours if he'd like. So that's fine.
A few hours?
Now, I said, we'll discuss when you get out. I don't know when you will get out, so we'll discuss it when you get out, but I'm not going to keep them from you if it's my parenting time longer. I'm just stating, we'll just talk about.
Okay, so if you get out and it's your time, Mr. Thompson, then you'll get the kids. If it's Miss Thompson's time, when you get out, send her the message, get Our Family Wizarding app, talk to her, and it sounds like she'll help accommodate and facilitate some extra time there until it's your time, and then you'll be back into the normal routine. And hopefully there won't be any further. I hope I don't have to see you guys again. I know you probably don't want to see me, so I do wish you the best of luck. That when you're out, that hopefully you guys with our Family Wizarding app and everything, and I know you've been through a lot, hopefully you guys will be able to just co-parent and not be back in court. Not that I don't mind seeing you guys, but I'm sure you don't want to see me, and you have better things to do than spend your Fridays, dealing with court. So,
Or a whole week in jail over not including my son's name in a text.
So I've signed the denial order. I've signed the order that set out the contempt's dismissed and the parties use our Family Wizarding app, and the makeup time from Ms. Thompson is satisfied. All right, that's, I think, all that's before the court right now. So that's it. Anything else from you, Mr. Thompson?
No, sir.
Anything else from you, Ms. Thompson?
Nope, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. I would point out to both of you that this is the most civil you have both been in a long time with each other. You should be commended at least for that. You are both being very civil with each other and compassionate with each other, at least at today's hearing. Hopefully that will continue.
Your Honor, I would like to
I do notice that. So, okay.
Now, I'm just going to shut my mouth.
Okay. Yeah. You guys have, I'm giving you a compliment, both of you. You're both being really good. So I wanted to note that I acknowledge that. So, all right.
All right, this is a citation that was issued on April 26th of this year on Blue Star Highway there in Fillmore Township for disobeying a traffic control device. Ms. Owings, you're here on this citation. Deputy, this is your 10 o'clock, not your 9:50.
Okay.
Ms. Owings, you are on this citation to do one of three things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or two, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation as to how or why this happened, or three, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, to fight the ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
Two.
All right. And what is it you'd like to tell me?
Well, I'm not from the area and I'm not familiar with the area. So when I was proceeding north on Blue Star Highway, there was a traffic closure. So I followed the detour, but when I followed the detour, every one of the roads that I passed also had the same signage of road closed to through traffic. And so I turned around and saw the deputy. So I proceeded to go through that road closed to through traffic sign. And that was, because I just needed to get to 142nd, which I could see there was no construction there. And I did see the deputy. So I was attempting to round that, hoping that he would just let me go to 142nd Street, which was, again, I could see it. There was no construction. He said that that area was being taken advantage of a lot and people were crossing that barrier. So he was stationed there to basically issue tickets. And he proceeded to tell me that I could take the detour and, at 143rd, 138th, whatever those roads with the road closed to through traffic, I could cross those barriers and proceed across Blue Star Highway horizontally. I just couldn't proceed vertically. So that didn't make sense to me. And the cop was very apologetic. He understood the situation. I was very grateful that he checked my son in the back seat to make sure that he was in his seatbelt and everything was fine. But the ticket was issued. But again, he's telling me that it is okay to cross the road closed to through traffic and go across horizontally, but I couldn't cross the road closed to through traffic and proceed vertically. So it was
Yes,
kind of
ma'am.
like
It's
a
Blue
no-win
Star that
situation.
has the construction. So the detour is just one big country block around the section of Blue Star that has construction.
Right, but me as a common citizen who, you know, I haven't been pulled over. I have no previous convictions. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. It was just a simple misunderstanding. And again, how was I to know that I could cross the same sign with the road closer through traffic and cross vertically? I was under the assumption that the police officer would help me and instead issued a ticket, which I completely understand. But again, it wasn't malicious. I wasn't trying to, you know, do anything horrible.
Well, here's what I can do, ma'am, is most of the time when people come in to contest citations, what they're worried about is points on their license. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, here's the thing. I accept responsibility, but at $110 and 2 tickets, I am not working. I have filed for disability, and I also have a 6-year-old who I homeschool. So,
ma'am, what do you mean 2 tickets?
I'm sorry?
What do you mean 2 tickets?
2 tickets.
You just said $110 and 2 tickets?
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 points on my license.
Oh, yeah.
The ticket would be
what I was going to explain to you is points don't come from us, ma'am. We're not going to give you any points. That's a Secretary of State thing. The only court punishment is that fines and costs.
Okay. Well, still that $110. I have $150 budgeted for my homeschooling allowance for travel and, you know, field trips for my 6-year-old son who I'm homeschooling. At $110, that would completely eliminate a month's worth of travel and, you know, homeschooling expenses for something that, you know, like I said, it wasn't malicious. I saw the police officer there. If I was going to try to do something completely illegal, I would have done it not where there was a police officer, and I'm not in the habit of doing illegal things.
Ma'am, what is it you're asking for?
For the ticket to maybe not be, for you to delete the ticket. Like I said, it wasn't malicious. I couldn't even figure out.
The alternative to this is to give you impeding traffic, which doesn't have the points, but it's still $110, man. That's a statutory fine. And I can't delete the ticket. I'm a judicial branch. I could decide whether you did it or not. Writing you a ticket is executive branch. That's already happened. And I can't decide you didn't do it because you admitted responsibility. So we're sort of at an impasse. I think you're just saying you just wish this would go away.
Well, I don't understand how a ticket can be issued when the side street said the exact
Ma'am,
same
you did
thing.
exactly what the ticket says you did. You avoided a traffic control device by driving around it in full view of an officer who's sitting there because he told you too many people are taking advantage of the traffic control device and just driving around it. And that's exactly what you did, right?
That, I'm not from the area. And had I gone around with a detour, all of those roads said the exact same thing. So how do I know which was the right way? What you're saying is I could have even been issued a ticket if I went around the road closer through traffic on the detour side.
What I'm saying is you're still from Wyoming, Michigan. Any rural detour, it's the same as city blocks, except they're just big old country blocks. When they close down a portion of a roadway that you can't go through, they make you have to go around a large square, a series of right or left turns to go around the portion of the roadway that's under construction. That is the same way that detours work, no matter where you're from, right?
I understand that, but the officer told me that I could go past the road closer through traffic on any of those side road detours and cross
you
Blue
can
Star
go
Highway horizontally.
across Blue Star. You just can't go north or south on Blue Star. And then what you did is go north or south on Blue Star and around a sign.
But I would have had to have gone around the same sign on
No,
the
ma'am, you would have cut across Blue Star from 143rd or 141st, any of the other roads.
But
that's how detours work. All right, hold on. The deputy wants to weigh in. Go ahead, deputy.
Okay.
Yeah, if I may add, and on those horizontal roads, there is a sign that says road closure, but it's not fully blocked off. Like on Blue Star going north and southbound, that's completely blocked off detours. Where it is horizontal is partly blocked off for use of access going horizontal.
But I
Road
saw
system
you there, so I thought that would be the better option. Because
Okay.
again, those roads on the detour also said the same road closed to through traffic.
Yep, but
Okay,
the
So
one
you're
ma'am, I
saying that
do
makes
have,
that's legal,
I
but the
have
other
my
is
next
not
round
legal.
of tickets here, so we're all set with what we need to do here today. You just need to call the district court to make arrangements to pay that fines and costs.
Okay, can we please not have the points at least, because this is causing extreme hardship in my life for something
Yes,
that
ma'am,
was
I
not
told you,
even.
I'm not gonna issue you points. They don't come from court, they come from Secretary of State. You have to take points up with them. I'm not gonna issue any points. It's the Secretary of State that issues you points.
So the ticket stands as is.
Yes, ma'am, you admitted responsibility to the citation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you guys for watching. I had some upload issues the past couple of weeks, so that's why I had to kind of back off. I just couldn't get them uploaded in a timely manner. It was taking forever, and I'm talking like 12, 13, 14 hours. It was taking forever. So now I've gotten that straightened out, hopefully. But what is it about people that think they can live someplace without paying rent? They just stay and never pay rent. I don't understand that. I really don't. And like the one in McNally's court, I mean, she's been living there. She's mad because the home is upside down, although she says that's his fault. But, you know, if you're living there for a year or more without paying the mortgage, then of course it's going to end up upside down, right? I mean, of course, if you're not paying your mortgage, that's just the way it's going to be. And then the one in Judge DeSanto's court, you know, if she couldn't afford the utilities, and you know, the utilities were high, but like if you lived in California, that's nothing. I mean, I've heard of people in California having like $2,500 and $3,000 just for gas and electric. So $1,600 utility bill that has water, garbage, sewer, if they pay sewer separate, internet, all of that. If you have all of that included, and possibly there's lawn care fees, I don't know, but possibly, maybe there's an HOA, I don't know, they didn't discuss that, but maybe that's all included too. And if all of that is included in those utility fees, well, that's actually not too bad. So when you live someplace, you should at the very least pay the rent. Like she didn't even pay the rent. Besides the utilities, at least pay the rent. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.